Small world. We do. I wasn't born and raised in my family is from here. So, grandparents
Okay, Alana, how we doing out here? More people coming. There they are. How you doing?
Hi.
Thank you for making it.
Thank you.
Thank you for putting it together.
We're getting people in here. We're just about ready to start, so your timing is perfect. Okay.
We'll be under the Navy
Okay. So we're about ready to get this thing rolling. I'm just doing a quick little walk around here. And
So they've seen us all their life, and we've invested money for them in IRAs, so they have their own IRAs. So we talk about it all the time, so that
we're about ready to start, so I'm just doing a quick little run around, taking a little shot of everybody.
You're the wheeler dealer here.
I'm the wheeler dealer. I'm the bad boy. Got all this
I'm
stuff
Sarah
started.
Hinton. I've talked to you only on the internet.
Oh, good, good. Well, we'll talk more before this is over. Okay? Thank you.
really important to me. And because, like I said,
Okay, Michael, you're the man.
Okay, I want to thank you all for showing up for another meeting of the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association. It looks like we've got a little bit fewer people here today. Maybe we'll have some more showing up. I know we had quite a few sign up and pay in advance, so I don't imagine they're going to walk away from that money, right? Hopefully. And the good part is, even though it might be a little bit scarce on the people showing up, we've got the internet, which makes it much larger, so we'll just put our information out there and keep driving business back to everybody that's here to speak about all the good things that we've got. Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association, I think, Michael, we're probably going to end up washing out in the video because we've got the light in the background. So I'm going to close this, and as it gets a little bit
It's not too bad.
And what I'll do is open it back up because it can have a tendency to get a bit warm.
You want this side close too?
Yeah, thanks. That'd be great. You know, it's wonderful when we're here walking around, but when you get back home and you look at the videos, you go, uh-oh, I can't see anything. What happened? So, the main website we've got, Santa Barbara REIA, the quick and easy way to get there. YouTube, everything that we video, Michael is doing the video, we get it up on YouTube so that if you go home and say, what did they say, what was going on, up it goes. Now we had a major fiasco with YouTube here recently because they got to one of our videos from the past about 2 years ago and said, hey, we don't like it, we're taking you down, you're shut down, you can never use YouTube again. And I went, what? Yeah. So they sent some emails back and forth. I looked at my site, it was gone. They shut me down completely. So I went and took a look at the videos they complained about because they said they were inappropriate videos. And I mean, we're not doing X-rated stuff here. This is, bona fide educational real estate. And so I went back and looked at it, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out why. They never would answer the question, never would tell me. So I went back and said, okay, I made up a link on our website, which if you go back here and you go to, I think, maybe meetings, and you go down, you can click on a page and you can see the whole big long story and what all happened. Basically, I said, if you guys are just going to cut me off, I'll go to Microsoft, I'll go someplace else, I'm going to badmouth you forever, and here's my website, so take a look at it, because this is where we're going with this, because I'm not going to waste a lot of time begging and pleading. And they came back within 24 hours and said, we reviewed your videos, we're going to reinstate your account, you're back up and running. And then a few days later, I noticed that the videos they were talking about had all been deleted by YouTube. Not very many, just one meeting. I suspect that, the governments here in the United States and other places around the world are getting a lot more sensitive to things that are up. And they'll take them down and probably not even tell people why, because if they take them down and tell somebody, somebody might say, hey, you know what? I'm offended that you're offended, because what's your issue? They don't want to get into legal suits, and all that. So I don't really have an answer. All I know is we're back up and running. But if you're going to put all your eggs in one basket, be careful. That's my advice. Look for other places that you can do things in case something strange happens. Because other people, as I did internet searches, said, hey, we spent 4 or 5 months trying to get it back. And we finally did. Some people haven't. So that's just something to be aware of. So you can go there. We've got all of the videos from the past 3 or 4 years. A lot of good information there. Meetup.com. Is there anybody in here that is not using Meetup.com? Okay, so really, not so much that you want to be on here just to get to our meetings. You want to be on there so that you can get to all the meetings and all the people. Because people, when you sign up here, they'll get a look at this, they're going to go, oh, there's Melody. I can see from her profile what she does, what she has to offer, what she needs. So I'm going to contact her because she's told us right there in the world that this is what she needs, and I've got exactly what she needs. So this is a great networking tool. Now, it actually brought us a lot more members to what we're doing here without even trying, because they're looking at what's going on and what other people are going to. And so we just had people started to sign up. In fact, I went to Mario. Mario was here. Mario from Central Coast REIA. And he had me come up there and speak. And they were using Meetup.com, which I used like 4 or 5 years back. Couldn't really see back then the value, but things have changed because they've increased it and they've made it very good for social networking. And when I saw that, I went, okay, I'm sold. We got ours back up and we're up and running now.
That's pretty much how we built our entire club.
Through Meetup.com. So Mario will probably get a dinner table, come in here and speak to all of us here in the future, but he's got the Central Coast REIA, so you should go back to Meetup.com, work your way back to Mario's meeting that they have up there, because the truth is we can't get all the speakers to come to everybody all the time. He may have some good speakers that we don't have access to, we may have some. So what you want to do is be able to go to a number of different areas, but not go broke getting there. And that's why we try to have ours be free, other than having to pay to get in here. $10 in advance, $20 cash at the door, you already know that. But I figure if everybody pays a little bit, then nobody has to pay a lot. So you want to definitely check out other REIAs as you're going through your educational process here. So the agenda this evening, we've gone through the registration, networking, wine, and appetizers. Thank you, Maria. Yay! For being our hostess with the Moses and serving up the wine. I'll go through and talk a little bit about rent-ready properties, and I want to give you some examples of IRA things that we're doing, so that as our main speakers here, Dimitri and Michael, who are here, are going to be talking about some different types of investing in IRA information. You've got a little bit of an idea of how we're actually using it and what we're doing with it. I'll kind of help you get maybe a little bit more direction. We're going to talk about fortune builders. Did anybody come here a week or two ago to the fortune builder thing and sign up to go to that? You did sign up. Excellent. Good. Okay. So if you missed it, there was an A&E Flip This House, Fan Merrill. His people were here talking, and so I called them up and I signed up to go to it. In fact, we've got one person here this evening, I'm not going to point fingers or anything, but they paid, I think, about $3,000 to go to a 3-day thing maybe 4 years ago. So the price has gone, I think, from $3,000 down to about $1,200 or $1,197. And then if you went to the meeting, you could actually take it for $197 and bring a guest. Well, they said, your people, if they want to go to this thing that's happening in Santa Maria, or what is it, the Old Tim? can go for $100. So we'll talk about that at the end, so you can see how that's done. And then also vendor tables. Is there anybody in here that has a business that would eventually like to get a vendor table and come here and just, display some cards, talk to some people? Is there anybody in here that would like to do that? Okay, so what I've been doing in the past is as we get closer to our meetings, if we don't have the vendor table sold out for $50, which that's what we charge, we help pay for the room, the food, the wine, and everything, I end up giving a vendor table away for free. And then I kind of scramble and I talk to people, but what I'd rather do is just say, hey, if you come to the meeting and you're here, if you're the only person that wants a vendor table, boom, you've got it for next month, or whenever, probably the next month. If there's 4 or 5 people, we'll run a little kind of raffle number or something and let somebody get a free vendor table. That way we know that is kind of taken care of, so that's going to be an opportunity. And the other thing I'd like to do is the speakers. Now, I'm not going to put this on Dimitri or Michael at this point, but the speakers in the future, I'm going to say, hey, at the very end of the meeting, let's think of something that we can give away for free, So, for me, the vendor table, of course, I've got millions of dollars here for advertising. I can give away. And that way, there'll be a little bit more reason for people to kind of hang out to the very end, because what we don't want is people heading out the door when there's still some great stuff to learn and some freebies at the end, right? So there'll be some of that going on too. Brandon is not here, and he signed up for a vendor table and didn't pay, so he wanted to do it this time. I said, sure, come on back, you can do it this time, but you're going to have to pay for last time that you missed, plus this time. So he gave me $100 and said, I'll be here. And if you don't show up and somebody misses the opportunity for a vendor table, the best that I can do is publicly humiliate you on YouTube. So Brandon, we're going to redline you again. I want to thank you for the $100 you gave me. It's not refundable. But it would be nice if people would let us know, therefore we can give it away to somebody else who may want that vendor table and be able to actually use it. Okay? Joel, we've got Joel that showed up back here. Want to raise your hand? He's going to be here. He's got a vendor table, and I met him at the A&E Flip This. So we've got Joel here tonight. We've got some empty vendor tables, and then we're going to go from that to Dimitri. And Dimitri, there you are. For a minute there. I'm going to get you up here in just a minute. But he's going to be our main speaker, and then he's going to be covering some of this information here and much more. Okay? And then we've got Michael Mirando here. You just want to raise your hand. So he's here locally from Tremblay Financial. And has anybody in here gotten any flyers that say, come to dinner, go to the faculty club, or whatever from Tremblay Financial? Anybody?
Not yet.
Why are we getting them? I'm going to go to those dinners. I'm going to pick you up. I'm on offer.
I'll buy you dinner. Listen to a little bit of coffee.
Yeah, I would have thought more people. So in any case, he's going to be giving us a lot of good information. And then we'll wrap it up at the very end there. As we're going through this, we'll probably take quick little breaks between one thing and the next, just so people can kind of get ready for the next thing, and you can run back and get some more wine and some more food. Okay? So I'm going to, before we head on, is there any quick questions anybody's got? Oh, okay. So I'd like to talk to you just a little bit about the rent-ready properties that I do. A lot of people really don't want to be a landlord. A lot of people don't want all the headaches and all of the misery that goes along with the job. Dan, why are you doing this? I'm still asking myself. It's good cash flow. It's constant cash flow. When I worked at the university for 26 years, my life was like this, emotionally and financially. It gradually, very boringly, gradually increased. Okay? When I decided to retire and get into this whole real estate thing full time, because I actually did real estate for 30 years. I've been buying properties and managing and selling during the time I worked at the university. Since I was 28 years old, I started with a duplex out in Isla Vista. So I thought, well, this is pretty good stuff. I was at the very peak of the market that I thought, let's just get out of the university, because I was flipping some houses, and I did one deal up in Northern California where I made like $50,000 on the flip and split that with another investor. And I thought this is really easy, so I jumped out and retired and started doing this, and then the market started taking it down. Ooh, this is not that easy, But what happened was, this was the university of my life, And then when I started doing the business, my finances and my emotions have been going like this. You know, up and down, and my wife been going, it's driving me crazy. So one of the reasons that I do the rent-ready properties is because it's good, constant cash flow every month. It's a lot of work, it's a full-time job. So for everybody that thinks that you can do rental properties and go to the beach and you know, you got passive income, all I can say about passive income is if you're Bill Gates and you have enough money for keeping you and your family healthy and happy for the next 2,000 years, you can put that in the bank and get 1% or 0.5% and let inflation eat away at it. And the truth is, it's not really making you any money, but you've got so much it doesn't matter, so you might as well go enjoy life. But most of us, if we were to do that, we would be in a losing game. So, you know, the more risk there is in something, the more you have to manage and stay on top of it. I don't care who you give it to, you're going to have to watch, are they doing their job? Okay? Same thing goes with management companies for rental properties or whatever. So the more risk, the more you're going to have to spend time managing it. The less risk, if you want to put your money in the bank for 0.5%, there's not much you have to worry about other than inflation. Okay? So I do this, it gives people a chance to just give me some money, like $15,000, and then I get a property and we get a rehab, we get it rented, and the checks came in, I give them half the rent every month, and when we do sell, they get half the profit. It's that easy. They get to forget about it, I do the work, and the difference is I don't get a percentage. I only make money if the rent's coming in and the expenses are low, and we're both on the deed. If I was a landlord making a commission, I'd be over there going, I hate you, get out of here. I don't like you, you know, and what happens is these people get chased out of the properties, and the turnover is where these management companies make their money. Sad to say, if they're not very, if the integrity level's not very high, you can bet you're going to have 1 or 2 people turned over in a year, and before long you're going to end up broke, and they're going to say, well, you owe me the house now, which is going to, you know, put a lien on your house and it's ours. So you have to be very careful. Do I have management companies? Yes, I've actually got a management company here in town, and you say, well, Dan, well, why would you have a management company in town when you're right here? California is a tenant-friendly state, not an investor-friendly state. If we have to go to court because somebody hasn't paid the rent, the last thing I want the judge to hear is, I'm the landlord. If the judge hears, I'm a management company, you told me, I'm in here like every day, hello, remember me? They're like, okay, this is a bona fide business, and they usually are better with management companies than they are with landlords. If you're out of state in different places, like some of the projects I have is in Indiana, if we got a problem with a tenant, 2 weeks, they're out of there. $150, that's all it costs. They're gone. If they're seen back on the property after that, they go to jail. So, you know, you have to pick your battles and decide where you're going to do what kind of business. And in some states, I have property managers, in other states, I don't. It just depends. It's not black and white. Okay? Return is 36%. By the 12th month, you split that, they get 18%, I get 18%. If you want any more information, there's flyers back there, you can go to the website, it's all there, just pages of information. So let's talk a little bit about IRA properties, okay? We have traditional IRAs, we have self-directed IRAs, my wife and I and our kids. I actually got a Michael and Alana. You met Alana out there. She's doing the registration as you came in. That's my daughter. Michael back here is doing the videos. Michael. So I got them a self-directed checkbook control M&A LLC self-directed IRA. Okay. The nice thing about that for your kids is they can't really touch the money. They get to play with it like it's Monopoly. And when they start finally seeing how it builds and how it works, they go, oh, I get it. I understand how this business goes, but I can't touch the money. What good is it? Well, now that you know, you can actually go do your own business outside of an IRA and start pocketing some of that cash for your living expenses, but you aren't going to pocket the IRA stuff because you can't until you're 59 and a half, 62, whatever it is. Okay? So it's it's like a Monopoly. It's a good way to learn and start them off. Now, we've got 2 really good speakers here tonight. They're going to help educate us because Michael's now 21, and I got to figure out how to get him and his sister are separated, and how to get their own accounts, and where we go next, and what are solo 401ks that I don't know. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. And we're here to ask questions and find out. This particular property out in Fort Wayne, I got off on an auction. 3 investors that are traditional IRAs, my wife, I, myself, and another Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association member, and that's in his traditional IRA as well. Okay, so you can see how kind of how this thing builds. This particular property was bought off of an auction site. I just went to an auction site, paid $2,000 for it. They were asking 3. I said, well, how will you take 2? Just to see what happened. They came back and said, yeah, we'll take 2. So Zillow now says that the value of that is $90,000. It's gone up in the 3 years that I've had it. Plus we've been dumping money into it and fixing it up. But that's not why the value has gone up. Not because we put money into it, but because the market is drying up as far as foreclosures, so it's driving up the price of property. Could we sell that today for $90,000? I doubt it seriously. Because there's still, you know, depressed markets and other properties that are in foreclosure. But it's still, the market is drying up the foreclosure, so it's driving up the price. So this gives you an idea. The chart on Zillow, here's where I bought it. Hardly even shows up on the chart of $2,000. And here's what Zillow says it's currently worth. Now, when I look at Zillow, I don't really look at Zillow because you know Zillow could be 5% above or below, or 30% or 50%, who cares? I don't really look at it for specifics. I look at Zillow for this, market trends. Okay, so you can get a kind of an idea where the market's been, where it's going to go, what the possibilities are in the future. Obviously, if we try to sell anything that we've got to an investor, we're going to end up not getting good profits because aren't we here to learn how to do this inexpensively and get the best deal? So we're not going to sell any of these rent-ready properties to investors. The best people to sell them to are the tenants. So I educate the tenants on, wouldn't you rather pay, instead of paying $600 a month or $800 a month, pay $300 a month or $400 a month to own it? I can get you qualified. It's paid for free and clear. We can finance it for you. We can get you through the process. We finally get you to a bank and take the loan out of our hands and give it to a bank. We're not going to give them a great interest rate. We're going to keep them up to the price of the rent, so they're motivated to get to a lender. That's when we cash in and get our profit. But we can help them through that process with their credit and everything else, and the education it takes to get them there. Okay? Well, we recently had to throw another $4,000 into the property to rip out carpets, put in vinyl plank flooring, and my investor said, hey, well, wait a minute, oh, I'm supposed to get 80% per year, and you know, I like the whole concept and everything, but I don't really have the money to dump out $4,000 right now in flooring. This is a new investor who's never had a property ever. He's a contractor, so he's kind of shocked at what it takes to make these things work, because these are long-term investments, not fix and flip and make a bunch of money right now. So I said, okay, I'm not spending my money, you're not spending your money, we're going to have to figure out how to do this. Don't worry, that's my job. That's why you invested with me, I'll figure it out. So I went back out and said, okay, so we got 3 IRA investors right now, let's pull in a 4th IRA investor just for the rehab, let them get 10% on the cost of that money to get a rehab, the flooring. And then once they're paid off, we get back to paying each other and doing what we're doing. Okay, so this just gives you an idea of how many different types of IRA investors you can do in different things. And if you get tight for cash, wouldn't you like to get 10% return on your money for doing nothing more than just loaning it for 4 or 5 months? It could be out of your personal account, it could be out of your business account, or it could be out of your IRA, traditional, self-directed, whatever. So this is a way that as you get involved in this stuff, you don't have to freak out and go, well, that's great, Dan, I got $20,000, but I don't know if some repairs come up, if I can deal with that financially. It's not your job. That's what I'm doing, dialing for dollars 24 hours a day at home, doing my job. So we make it work, because I'm on the deed, the investor's on the deed. If I don't do it, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to fail. It's just not in my vocabulary. It's going to happen, it's going to work. Have I ever failed? My son, when I first started this, said, Dad, you got all these books for real estate, and you're going to go do this whole thing. What if you fail? And I said, oh, I promise you, I will fail many times before I succeed. And all those failures will teach me where it is that I need to go. So don't worry about the failure. Just be careful about how you're spending your money. Okay? So this we're going to talk about at the very end. I'm going to show you how you can go to this thing still for $100. Up in Buellton at the Marriott. We just happen to be Marriott timeshare owners. Timeshares are not good investments unless you buy them as a tax lien. So don't run out there and sign up because it's not. But what it is good for is a forced vacation. So we're going to go up there and enjoy the Marriott. My wife might spend 3 days going through that training, and we can get you in there, and we'll talk about that $50 vendor table. Okay? So I think that's it for me. We're going to take a quick little break. If anybody wants to run back, grab a sandwich, or grab some wine, I'm going to get Dimitri up here. We're going to get him set up, make sure he's good for doing what he needs to do, and that'll be it. So you guys, you want to come up to Dimitri and